Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single, nearly weekday, and sometimes sporadically on the weekends. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to be live tomorrow, but I'm live today. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button, show me a little bit of support. It's Sunday evening. I'm live streaming on the YouTubes. I'm going to drop you some logical content. I'm going to be authentic and real with you, unlike a lot of other content creators. Show a little love for this teeny tiny channel that only has how many subscribers do I have to this channel? This channel is so small. And that's my own fault. I don't put the amount of work into it that's necessary for it to grow. I have 3,360. So not a lot of subscribers on the channel, so show a little bit of love. Guys, the market is beginning to pick up, okay? We are beginning to enter the initial stages of an extremely exciting time. Now, one of the things that you should recognize with a lot of the market movements that are going on right now, for someone who was here back in 2020 and 21, at the moment, a couple things I would share with you. A lot of the movements in the market right now seem to mirror more of what was happening in 2017. And the other thing I would say is that the market is, the way I would think about it is the market appears to be front running a little bit what happened in 20 and 21, right? We'll have to see how things pan out. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. You know, I saw a really good post out there recently. Let me jump to this real quick just to give you specifics here. So one of my friends on here, Tony the Bull BTC. Okay. So this was my comment. So basically, he had posted something out today about Bitcoin potentially topping in January 2025 at the end of the month. And I want you to read what I said here. Now, historical context says that, you know, the market is not going to top until late 2025. But historical context also said no new all-time highs before the halving. The market is immature, volatile, and will throw us curveballs. So you have to have a plan for all scenarios, else you're planning to fail. Guys, my main thesis is, at this point, the way the market is shaping up. If I had to pick a side here, the entire market will not top until late 2025. But my sell strategy is not predicated on that. You know, I've been pointing you endlessly on this live stream to that video I put out that's going to help you to tell when it's a smart time to begin selling your investments. We're using impulsive topping indicators that historically have told us, hey, it's a really smart time to begin selling. That could happen. I'm anticipating. Let me just say this right now. And I just shared this with my family the other day, literally. I'm anticipating probably at least two of those topping indicators to fire in the spring of next year. It would probably be wise if that were to occur, and I'll keep you updated, if that were to occur, to take some profits. Because we don't know how the market's going to top out. Remember, in 2017, we had two full-blown alt seasons. In 2021, we had two alt seasons, but only the strongest narratives participated in the second alt season in the latter half of 2021. We could see something similar this year. We really could be. So you have to be prepared for all scenarios. Again, the only way to prosper in this market, take it from someone who has round-tripped, the only way to prosper in this market is to hit the sell button. You have to have a logical sell strategy. You got to stick to it no matter what the narrative is. It should feel like the wrong decision, and it should feel sickening when you're selling because there's so much greed in the market. but it should turn out, if your sell strategy is based on logic and data, it should turn out to be an extremely smart time to sell. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think we have many months in front of us to get excited about the markets. But did want to talk about a few particular projects in particular today. I know I have a lot of people tuning in that are fellow Caspians, very excited about the project Caspa. This thing now, one of the things that I've shared a lot about this chart, okay? But one of the main things that I've shared about this chart, if you're in Caspa, we spent a significant amount of time going up here, right? Over a year, okay? Over a year here, we spent going up. Now we have spent, I don't know if you want to consider it back here in November of 23, or let's just maybe consider it here in February of 24. If you consider it in February of 24, we have spent 10 months consolidating in a range, right? You don't spend 10 to 12 months consolidating in a range to now once you start to break out, you don't spend 3, 4, 5 months breaking to the upside. You're going to spend roughly the same amount of time breaking to the upside. This thing is not topping, in my opinion, until late 2025, and it gives greater credence to the idea or the hypothesis that there really will be 2 alt seasons for at least the strongest narratives, whether they're layer 1s, AIs, and meme coins. I really do think at the end of the day there's going to be 2 big alt seasons next year. Because again, why would we want to fight history? It's interesting. A lot of people come out and they say, well, this time's going to be different, and this time's going to do this, and this time's going to do that. Guys, I'm a data person. So at work, what I do is I price life insurance products. Do you know the way that I price life insurance products? I look at industry data and company-specific data. I study the history, like mortality trends, and that helps to make informed decisions of how to appropriately price the product. Why would I want to look at the historical data and say, it's going to be different down the road? Doesn't that sound foolish? Like, the only thing we can go on is based off of data, right? It's the only thing. If senior management comes to me and says, why did you make a pricing decision? Well, the historical data said this, but I decided to do something different. I might get fired, okay? So if we're analyzing the market here and the history is telling us with conviction, now it's limited, there's not a ton of historical data, but if the data is telling us that there's going to be 2 alt seasons and the market's not going to top until late 2025, until proven otherwise, that's what's going to happen, okay? So we'll have to see how things pan out. But right now, I have compared this point in time very similar. If we come back here, I want to remind everyone, okay, if you weren't on the live stream and you didn't see me talking about this, there were a lot of people. Remember Bitcoin back here? There were a lot of people back here saying these are just dead cat bounces. And I said, hey guys, look, anything's possible. I can't tell you with certainty what's going to pan out in the chart. When we're back here in the summer, fall of 2024, we're bouncing around between 60 and 50,000. I said, guys, what I like to do on the channel, okay, I don't want to overcomplicate things. We don't need to make ourselves sound smarter than what we are. We don't need to overcomplicate things, because when we start to overcomplicate things, it muddies the water and we become less effective at what it is we're looking to do, which is to prosper in this market. Let's keep it stupid simple. We got a low, we got a high, we got a higher low, we got a higher high. And so that's the narrative that I continued to stick with on this live stream. And I told you, if you were here, once we started to definitively break above 68,000, I told you $68,000 was my line in the sand. Now, technically, it was $70,000. But I said I felt extremely confident once we broke $68,000 with conviction, we would start to move with haste, okay? Look what happened. We broke 68. We came a little bit down here. We fucked around with the line a little bit. And then we moved up. We broke 70. Yeah, we fucked around. We confirmed 68 as support, and then we just started to move. And we bounced up from 68 all the way to 103. The same thing, literally, the same thing, in my opinion, is going on with Casper right now. Again, I could be proven to be wrong. I just don't think I'm going to be. 18 to 19 cents is my area, okay? We can fuck around in this area a little bit and form it as support. But once we start to take off, 30 cents, okay? 30 cents, which is going to put this thing at what? A $7.5 billion market cap? 30 cents plus is going to come with haste, okay? Remember me saying this. Now, again, I can't tell you, you tune into a lot of these YouTube channels, and they get you with this clickbait. You see the thumbnail, and man, I don't even know how some of these channels have as many subscribers as they do. Like, there's some good channels out there, and there are some really shitty channels that have like 5 times the amount of subscribers I have. My guess is they keep churning out content that feeds into your emotional hopes. But the reality is, I can't guarantee you anything in this market. I say this all the time. I'm just interpreting the data. And the data here on this chart is telling me that the breakout that we're about to see on Caspa is going to be very similar to Bitcoin. You're gonna see this thing up at 30 cents very shortly, in my opinion. We'll have to see how price interacts with that 30-cent area. I believe that's a key level based on a Fibonacci extension. So we'll have to see how we interact in this level up here. But once we get up to that area, I know there was a tweet out here that I had commented on. If you follow me on X, could Caspi get up towards 50 cents before the end of the year? I'm not going to rule it out. I will say that's the market can move fast, but you'd have to accelerate very rapidly to get up to 50 cents before the end of the year. I find that less likely versus more likely. But let's just first clear 20 cents. Let's definitively clear 20 cents, which I think we're going to do very soon. Let's get up to the 30-cent area, and then let's see how we respond to the 30-cent area. If we start blowing past 30 cents and we're heading up towards 40 cents, yeah, I think 50 cents is going to come pretty quick. But if we start stalling out 30 cents, guys, it's still a 50% upside from where we're at. Just to put things in perspective, if we were to get up to 30 cents, okay, let's kind of talk about if the relative market doesn't move too much and Caspa starts putting in a bigger move relative to a lot of other projects. You're talking about like a $7.5 billion market cap. So you're talking about putting, remember, Caspa was up at like 22, 23, 21. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to consider the fact that the next major move could take this thing from $5 to $10 billion, which would put it up close to breaking the top 20 up here. So it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Now, keep an eye on. Now, something else we can do. One of the beautiful things that you can do in charting is not just chart your altcoin, or you can chart Bitcoin against USD. You can actually chart it against other cryptocurrency projects to assess the relative strength. So in this case, a common project that we chart against is Bitcoin. So we ask the question, how is Caspa's price performance relative to Bitcoin? And in this case, you can see we've been on an astronomical climb, an astronomical climb here, okay? And we've been consolidating in here, okay? People, again, I just want to reiterate this. People that can't read charts are frustrated with the price action on this chart. People who can read charts say, oh, wow, we're just consolidating in here, and it looks like the thing's going to eventually break to the upside, right? There's no reason to believe otherwise. We formed prior resistance into support. I have no reason to believe this thing isn't going to break to the upside. Now, in order just to go from current levels up to prior all-time highs against Bitcoin, if Bitcoin, now let's keep this, let's put this into perspective. where are we at right now? 0.188. So times. So if Bitcoin stayed at the same USD price level as it is today, which is 101,000, Caspa to get to the top, just to hit all-time highs here. We're not talking about breaking all-time highs. Caspa would be wow, sorry, hold on. Live TV, guys, live TV. This is all live. All right, hold on. 2.21. Okay, let's try this again. You can do this. Okay, 42. That's what I thought. So if Bitcoin stayed at the relative same price level as it is today, which is 101,000, Caspa would be up at 42 cents. Now, obviously, if we hit this level, right? If we hit this level and Bitcoin's up 20% at $120,000, you got to take the 42 cents and increase it by 20%, which would actually put it up at 50 cents. So the whole point is, once we get up here, which I'm fully anticipating, and we're going to break this level, Caspa will be at a minimum, if Bitcoin maintains its current price level, a minimum of 42 cents. If Bitcoin starts to increase in value towards 120, which I think is in the cards, 120 even, maybe 130, you're talking about 20 to 30% higher than that, which puts it above 50 cents. So things are starting to pick up. That's an asset you're going to want to keep an eye on because, again, this isn't, I'm not interjecting here my emotional opinions. You don't come up here, look at this. You know, if you've been on this channel for a while, okay? The more you interact with price confluence, the more it weakens. You don't come up here for a fifth time and you're just going to fucking stall out and roll over. I would give that such a low probability given market structure and also given where the entire market is at. That probability to me is, it's there, but it's just a low probability. It's a very low probability. There's a very high probability, in my opinion, that given the number of times we've hit this area and given where the market is at right now, that we're just going to start going batshit crazy in this market. We're not going to be hanging out here much longer. You had an opportune time to accumulate down here. I mean, you could have, if you were buying Caspa at 10 and 11 cents, you could have practically doubled your money at this point. So, again, if you know what you're doing, buying at Pico Fear is the smartest thing, but you got to know what you're doing. Let's see who you have in the comments here. Ooh, I see Jorge's in. Facts over feelings. I like the screen name, by the way. Casper to the fucking moon. I agree. DT, welcome in. Good morning. I like that. Good morning, DT. Good to see you on here. Juan, welcome in. Todd, always good to see you, my friend. A regular of the live stream. Jorge, Casper to the moon. Casper to hell. I don't really see that happening, but hey, Jorge, to each his own. I think you're trolling and having fun. It's funny. People are so excited because Casper's back up at 2 cents. I don't know what to say, guys. If you're excited about Casper, you got a lot to learn in this market. I don't know what to tell you. That chart looks like hell. I got finals on Monday and Tuesday. With that being said, you think you can chart Casper, the most bullish chart? No, I'm not charting Casper, Jorge. It's a fucktardery of a chart. Kyle, welcome in. I'm not charting Casper. You're trolling me, my friend. You like having fun with me. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Casper might be, quite frankly, the worst chart in the entire market. People are excited about it moving up. Yeah, if you bought the Pico bottom at like a half a cent and rode it up to 2 cents, congratulations. 99.9% of people who are holding that asset are at a loss. Okay, anyway, Bitcoin on the 12-hour here Looking good. We're starting to pick up momentum on the 12-hour. Now, again, one of the basic premises that I share with you on this channel is as you start to regain momentum on the lower time frames, as long as it can sustain itself, it bleeds over into the higher time frames, right? So the 12-hour, based on the MACD, stochastic RSI is starting to regain its footing. It looks like it's regaining its footing. Again, let's keep in mind, again, take it from someone who is not an expert and will never profess to be one, but someone who's been here for a while. There are so many people so fixated on calling this the top, this the top, this the top, this the top, and they want this pullback, and guess what, guys? The pullback has never happened. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me to see Bitcoin up at $120 or $130,000 before it ever gets any sort of substantial pullback. We continue to keep rising in price. None of the impulsive topping indicators have fired. That is telling us, and I just shared this with you on Thursday, If we just look at that if we just look at the RSI on the monthly is telling us we have a fuck ton higher to go. Like I believe people that are so hyper focused on calling a correction are either people that missed out or people who are getting emotional. If you are literally in this market just being data driven, you're looking at the data saying there's no reason we have to pull back here. There's literally no reason we have to pull back. In fact, as price has continued to move up, we've continued to cool off, right? We haven't shot up straight from 90,000 to 120,000. No, we rode from 90 to 100 to 103. I mean, we've allowed time for prices to cool off here. So it's allowing for a more sustainable of a move. I don't see anything here calling for a significant pullback. I don't. Could we get a significant pullback? Sure, but I just don't see anything. Again, I was the person in 2020 that once we cleared $20,000, I was like, oh yeah, well, logically speaking, I've shared this with you guys. Logically speaking, since we've cleared the prior major all-time area of resistance, where are we at? Yeah. This was us at 20,000 right here, right around here. Well, we just cleared the area right here. You see this? We just cleared this major prior area of price confluence. So chances are we're just going to come back down here, retest it as support, and continue up. Guys, we just continued churning up. Okay? The market is not going to do at times what you most expect. It's going to throw you curveballs. All right? I don't see a major pullback coming at the moment. Anything's possible. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance, and I've kind of sketched out what I'm expecting in generalities. Okay? Had a conversation with DT on the live stream where he's asking about this upwards trend here. DT, I don't think this trend line is going to hold. We'll see. Again, if the movements in the market right now are more similar to 2017, you are going to see an alt season that is going to it won't make 2021 look like child's play, but it's going to be bigger than 2021, okay? So this is what I'm expecting in generalities. You can see right here, back in 2021, once we got our first signal with this monthly candle here on Bitcoin dominance that we started to break down, you can see we had 2 months where we sort of had a small decline and then 2 straight months of just rocket ship activity within the alt market. We're going to see something similar right now. You can see the same thing panned out here in 2017. Huge drop, a little bit of a bounce, huge drop before the market bottomed. I really firmly believe at the very least, we're going to double bottom at the all-time low on Bitcoin dominance. However, I think more than likely we're going to create new lows. We'll see. Maybe I'll be dead wrong. Maybe there'll only be one alt season, and we're going to hold this line as support. I don't think it's going to happen, but we will see. But Bitcoin dominance, again, Bitcoin dominance has broken out of the rising wedge. Guys, if you've been on this channel, I congratulate you for remaining patient. I told you this was a bearish pattern, which is bullish for altcoins, okay? We've broken definitively. This is a definitive break from this market structure. Who cares if we get some sort of a bounce up here? We're going to roll over. And I told you guys, once we break 53%, I think that's when things are going to start to accelerate. I've been very consistent in my messaging. Let's take a look at Ethereum. We need Ethereum to do well. Again, it doesn't matter if you're holding Ethereum. The whole point of me showing you this chart isn't to say, hey, you should be holding Ethereum, or hey, Ethereum is... No, we need Ethereum to do well, guys. You want to see Ethereum do well. You want to see XRP do well. You want to see Solana do well. You want to see Bitcoin. If you understand all of the market dynamics, you will not be somebody who is a maximalist saying, well, Caspa's just going to have its own bull market. It doesn't matter what the rest of the market's going to do. That's bullshit. You need the whole market to do well for Caspa to do well. Caspa is, if the whole market went to shit right now, Caspa's not going to go on some big bull run. No. It's going to be, no. It's going to be at the mercy of the entire market. So that's the whole reason I bring Ethereum up. This is the king altcoin, guys. XRP is not flipping Ethereum. For the love of God, people. It's not. Solana is not flipping Ethereum. Do you hear me? Ethereum is the king motherfucking altcoin. Respect it. You want it to do well. When it does well, it's going to bring a lot of excitement and exuberance into the market, okay? So it's very important that you understand how Ethereum is performing. We're clearing $4,000, guys. We've talked about this level. This was a major level. We're going to turn this into support here. We cleared a major level I talked about at 36.50. We're above $4,000. Guys, I believe, okay, maybe you've heard it here first, maybe not. I believe Ethereum is going to be above $5,000. Let's look at the date. I think Ethereum, I was going to say before the end of the year, but I'll add a little margin in there. I believe Ethereum will be above $5,000 by my birthday, which is January 7th, okay? By January 7th, which is 1 month from now, Ethereum is going to be above $5,000. And once Ethereum is above $5,000, guys, to the fucking moon, okay? It's going to test your conviction in this market and when you want to start selling things, because your altcoins are just going to start going. Again, if I don't know how else to articulate this. We spend more time on this live stream, more time on this live stream during market activity like this. And I know I've said this before, but I'm going to reiterate this. It is extremely challenging as a content creator to come out here and keep you interested in these markets and excited, okay? Hopefully my corny sense of humor keeps you a little bit engaged, but it's very challenging to keep you engaged when the market is boring. And on top of that, you have a very young demographic in this market who are extremely impatient. Extremely impatient. They want a 100x overnight, and life doesn't work that way. This moment in time, I cannot... Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. I hope this is coming through, the sincerity of what I'm about to say. This moment in time that we are about to experience is going to be short, it's going to be fleeting, and you have to capitalize on it. You have to. Because once this moment is gone, okay? Once, I don't care what the narrative is right now. We're not entering a new paradigm. once this is done, okay, and Ethereum fucking rockets up to the fucking Saturn up here, all right? Guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna fucking roll over, all right? So you need to capitalize on all of this. It's not about selling the top. No one here, mark my words, myself included, no one here will sell the Pico top. It's about DCAing out of your investments at logical points. But once Ethereum clears $5,000, which will occur within the next 30 days, I mean, you're going to see the market go fucking bananas. You know? Like I said on X recently, if XRP can pull more than a 5x in a month, what do you think other tokens that are newer, that are going to have more hype behind them, that have a smaller market cap, what do you think they're going to do? Come on. You know? XRP's price that it hit did not surprise me. The rate of acceleration did surprise me. Okay? There are going to be aspects of this market that no matter how much of a veteran you are in the space, it's going to surprise you. It's going to be like shock and awe. The key thing is, if that shock and awe is happening to the investments that you own, you don't allow your emotions to control your decisions on when to sell. I literally just shared this with my family the other day, and I hope to God they listen to me. When you start selling, it should feel uncomfortable. When you start selling, you should feel like you're making the biggest mistake, because the market's just going to continue going higher. Guys, if I told you, I'll tell you the same thing I told my family. Let's look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin ultimately tops at 180, let's say it goes beyond, at this point I'm putting 180 in the ballpark, but let's say Bitcoin tops at 180. You sell at 110, 125, 140, 150, and then you let like 10% ride and you end up selling at like 170, and your average sell price is 145. So your average sell price on Bitcoin is 145. It topped out at the Pico top at 180. And now, again, because we're going to go through another 70% correction, you have the opportunity to what? 40, 30,000, whatever it is, to buy in again. Really, would you feel distraught over that? Because you didn't sell at 180. Your average sell price was 145. Stay logical. Stay level-headed, right? If Casper were to top out at $5 and my average sell price was $3.75, I'm fucking fine with that. I'm fucking fine, right? If I sold the majority of my Casper in the $3 range, 10% rode and I sold it up at like $4.50, and I had a $3.75 average sell price, and the thing topped out at $5, I'd be pretty happy. I'd be pretty happy with that, okay? You're not going to capture the exact top. You're not. There's a lot of, look at, it's interesting. Right before I came on this live stream, I was listening as I was cleaning up the kitchen and I got done with dinner. I was listening to some live stream, I think from a while ago, and they were talking about BitBoy. You guys remember BitBoy? What a fucking disaster that guy is. He put his whole life on social media. The guy is a walking disaster. Okay? The point of me bringing this up, hold on, losing the train of thought. This is what happens on live TV. How many times have you guys been with me on live TV and I completely lose my train of thought? There's a reason that I brought this up. Hold on. We're going to bring it back full circle. So, I don't know what the hell I was going to say, but we're going to try to make semblance of what I just brought up. The whole point is, this market's a little cray-cray, right? And I'm going to try and bring something positive away from this, guys. Losing my train of thought. This is what happens when you get old. I'm 42. I'm not 24. I think I think the biggest thing you need to realize in this space is that you need to exercise logic, and you can't exercise emotions. If you allow your emotions to control the decisions you're making with buy-sell activity, you're going to get greedy, and something bad is eventually going to happen, right? You need to be disciplined, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. You need to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined, and you need to exercise a sell strategy that is going to ultimately result in profits for you. Because, again, I'll say this again, for somebody who round-tripped, it's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. But I'm a very positive person. So the thing I take away from that is, how can I approach my sell strategy differently tomorrow than I did in the past to prosper in this market? And I feel very confident about the sell strategy I have. So just make sure you have a good sell strategy in place. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. Milla, I'm bullish AF. How about that? Does that sound good? I don't know. I don't know what else to say about Caspa. I've said it's a unicorn project to me. I've never read about a project before that gave me Bitcoin vibes like Caspa. We'll see how things pan out, but I don't know. It just seems like an obvious play to get into and accumulate. But CBG, what did you learn this cycle that will be helpful the next one? Whoa, Juan, I think you're asking the wrong question. This cycle is not completed, so there will be learning lessons from this cycle to carry forward in the next one. And I told my family this. The great thing is we have an opportunity to capitalize on all that's going to happen next year. And then we're going to just repeat this whole thing for 4 years, no matter what the narrative is. Remember me saying this. In 2026, there's going to be some fucking horrible narrative about crypto. Something that's making it tank to the shit, all right? And you're going to be wise for accumulating in 2027. But regardless, I think you're asking the wrong question. The question is that you should be asking me is, what did you learn from the prior cycle that will be helpful for this cycle? And that's what I'll share with you right now. Now, first off, I shared with you guys recently that one of the things that makes me feel positive and makes me feel confident that I'm going to be successful next year is looking at my portfolio, seeing how it's appreciating, and feeling nothing. I feel absolutely no emotion. Nothing. That would not have been the case 3 years ago. I would have been a little bit more emotional about it. Like, let's fucking go. Oh my God, look at my portfolio. I don't feel anything. I don't have any emotion because I know that I have a mission. And my mission is to escape the W-2. My mission is to prosper from this euphoria that's going to hit the market. And the mission isn't over. The mission has just technically started because we're entering alt season. The second thing that I've learned is to alter my sell strategy. I was so fixated. I'm as transparent with you guys as if I was grabbing a dirty martini and having a drink and just talking with you. It's the same damn thing to me. I'm being very honest with you. Same shit I told my family. The biggest thing I learned from 2021 is I was so fixated on an Elliott wave structure, and as soon as we started to break 64 and we were at 69, I was like, we're fucking going to $100,000. Let's go! Harmony won to $1. H bar to $5,000. I was ready to go, right? And but I was not an expert at Elliott wave analysis, and I've never professed to be. I've been very transparent about that. And I was not privy to expanded flat corrections, irregular corrections. And so it threw me for a loop. So what I've done this time to learn from that is, hey, let me identify a handful of statistical indicators that throughout time, short period of time, but throughout time have said, hey, it's a smart time to sell because the market has either topped or is very close to topping. I don't know how else to convey this to you guys, but if there are hard facts, data, statistical measures that is saying the market is at or near an impulsive top, right? And these things have fired each and every time this has happened. Why would you not want to listen to that, right? I am not basing my sell strategy on 120 or 150 or $180,000 Bitcoin. That's not how I'm basing it. I'm not basing my sell strategy on a timing target. January, March, April, October, November. No. I am basing it on when those sell indicators start to fire. That is what I have learned from the past cycle. And I feel very confident that because I'm going to be robotic, I'll give you an example. If ultimately right now, because Bitcoin really has exceeded my expectations, I think 180 is on the table. Okay, I think $180,000 is really on the table, which is crazy to me when I think about it. But I think $180,000 is on the table. If 2 of the 5 or 6 indicators, impulsive topping indicators, begin to fire at $125,000, you better believe I'm going to start taking some profits. It doesn't need to hit 180. If those wherever the price is, if 2 or 3 of those begin to fire and it's April, but the data was saying more than likely we wouldn't top until November or October, you better believe in April I'm going to start taking profits. That is how my sell strategy has differed. I realized after round tripping and knowing how horrible that felt, after round tripping, one of the things also that I realized is you can open up your hardware wallets and you can look at your balance and you can see how much your portfolio is worth. But those are unrealized gains, guys. They're unrealized because you haven't sold anything. It's what I'm stressing to my family. I'm saying, hey guys, here are my suggestions on how to sell. If you don't sell, you don't have any gain, you don't have any dollars at the end of the day to do whatever with, right? So that's everything that I've learned from the market. Thank you, Mila. Is it Mila? Mila? I appreciate that. Thank you. What else is going on in the market? We've been live streaming for a while. Let's see. Oh, guys, the market is red. It's all over. Hey, Chainlink's up. Yeah, there's. You can hear the excitement in my voice. I gotta say, it's encouraging. You know, I will say this about XRP. It's encouraging that it's maintaining its price in the $2 level. For anyone that holds XRP, that is very encouraging, and it's quite possible that XRP could exceed my expectations, but I will stand by this. From 50 cents to 275, that rate of appreciation, which is a 5.25x, I think that's the greatest rate of appreciation you're going to see in XRP at the cyclical top of the current cyclical top of 275. You're not going to see more than a 5.25 increase from 275. I think what I'm trying to say is the bulk of your gains have already been made. Remember, as much as I believe there's going to be 2 alt seasons, it's very, 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 very possible that projects, OG projects like Ethereum Classic, XRP, XLM, they could all top in the first half of next year. And really what runs in the second half of the year are your meme coins, your AI, and other layer 1 plays. So we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. Brian, this is no secret. So one of the things I don't do is I don't come on here and share like specific allocations. I don't share how much money I have invested in the market. That is my personal, private information. No one should share that. In my opinion, these guys that come out on X, these guys coming out on Twitter, they're like, I just made $1 million. I have this and this and this. No matter if I make $10,000 or $10 million next year, I'm not coming up on X and announcing that. That is, I think people that do that are not mature people that should be taken seriously. People that make real money and are real adults in this space don't fucking share that with anyone except for their family. Like their family, like their wives, their husbands, whatever. They're the only people that share that shit with. You better believe those are the only people I'm sharing that with. But the one thing I have disclosed to you is my largest altcoin holding is Caspa. And it's not even close. I'll just leave it at that. My largest altcoin holding, and it's not even close, is Caspa. That is how much conviction I have in that asset. Again, I accumulated a fuck ton at 3.5 cents average price. Okay? I'm happy. I'm just sitting pretty, and I'm just being patient. I know what I hold. Are you an unrealized gains millionaire already? Yeah. Let's hold on. Let me open up my Tangem and Ledger wallets, and we can take a look. Let me open up my SafePal, Tangem, Ledger. I got it all. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. I don't really think there's too much else to say. Solana's kind of teetering and tottering around. Not really much going on. XRP's giving us some hope. Actually, one thing I want to look at before you tune out. I was really curious on the XRP weekly because at one point it was printing a Gravestone Doji. So I just want to make sure it didn't print that. No, guys, the XRP, I will say this. The XRP chart, it is in overbought territory on the RSI. Like if we go to the RSI, we're all the way up here at 87. It's very overbought, and the last time it was up at these levels was back here where it had a big correction. I don't know. Yeah, it had a big correction. It went up from 80 cents all the way down to like 12 cents. But it's holding up nice. So we'll have to see if it continues to remain strong. But, I was expecting for this thing to dump down pretty hard to $1 or less. And it hasn't. So we'll see. We'll have to see. I mean, congratulations to everybody who holds that asset. All right, guys. Until next time, let's all spread awareness and carry the education forward. I don't know if I will be back here tomorrow, but if I'm not, I'll be back here on Tuesday. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.